Who's bigger, Apple or Spotify? Well, both.
And now, a look at this week in podcasting news. It's the Jag Show Podcast.
Welcome into episode 100. Spotify says it's now bigger than Apple in terms of users. As always, Tom Webster from Edison Research has a great explainer on this. Webster says more users prefer Spotify, but Apple still leads the pack in total downloads. Bottom line, use whichever one you like. I tried going back to Apple after they worked out their recent bugs, but found I personally liked Spotify's user interface better. Another battle in podcasting that's heating up is automated transcriptions. As Amazon makes a big push into the space, they've begun transcribing some of their bigger shows. If that gets rolled out to all shows, that could make Amazon, already a big name in audio, a bigger player in the podcasting space. Podcast production house Pineapple Street Media is looking for paid interns for the first half of 2022. If you want to get into the space, this could be a great opportunity for you. Radio people, are you listening? I said paid internships. As expected, podcast revenue is exploding in 2021, still rising after its initial boost in the pandemic of 2020. Magellan AI has a deep dive into ad revenue, but the key takeaways are that podcast ad spending is up 87% year over year, and 22% since just Q2 into Q3 of this year. How much can you charge advertisers on your show? And when can you start? AdvertiseCast has rates starting at 1,000 listeners per episode, and those rates have gone up in 2021. For a 30-second ad, it's $18 for every 1,000 listeners you get. For a 60-second ad, that CPM goes up to $25. There's also a cool interactive calculator to figure out your spend or what you can charge a potential advertiser, linked in today's show notes. Meanwhile, we'll find out Friday what the going rates are for podcast editors. Steve Stewart and Mark Deal of the Podcast Editors Club do an annual survey to figure out average rates and more information. They'll show the results at 5 p.m. Eastern in the Podcast Editor Academy. This will be publicly available for all to watch. There'll also be a link on YouTube. That is linked in today's show notes. And finally, I still don't understand Facebook's podcast rollout, except that you can connect the show to a page, not a personal profile and not a Facebook group, and it will only show up on mobile so far, not desktop. Looks like last week's Jag Show podcast showed up with the show notes as one huge glob of text and the audio under it. If you have a moment, cruise on over to Jag in Detroit Podcast on your Facebook mobile app and let me know what you see. Until next week, stay healthy and stay safe. Later.
If you like what you just heard, share The Jag Show with someone else who's interested in podcasts. You can also follow The Jag Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. For help creating or improving your podcast, visit jagindetroit.com.